Hey, 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 how y'all doing?
What's up, y'all? Hey, everybody.
Welcome to
Let's
the
speak
Ladies
to
of
our
Super Fan.
people. Let's say Miss Sexy Ray, the greatest moderator in the world. What's up, baby?
What's up, Sexy Ray? How you doing, lady? Miss Rashida G in the building.
You see Miss Lynn up in here, Miss Mel, my sissy, our sissy up in
Baby
here.
sis, Miss Mel in the building. Black Girls Lost. True crime in the building.
You see Natasha. Hey, beautiful. Miss Jessica. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate it. Miss Latrice. Oh, G-Dub.
G-Dub in the building. In the building.
What's up? Miss G-Dub. And we
Hold up. We got a big shopper in the effing building. Break room 411. Cousin in the building.
Cousin. That's our
in the building. Bully Slayer in the building.
What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Truth Slayer.
Big Lampo. We see you, girl. Not the little Lampo. Big Lampo in the building.
You know, you see her.
she coming through. She stepping on y'all. She stepping on you.
You see her. Hey, Lady J, what's going on, Miss Sonya? What is up, y'all? Did we miss anybody? I hope we didn't miss anybody. I hope we didn't.
I think we got everybody so far. If so, don't charge it to the heart. Charge it to the mind.
Okay.
10 bands and a month, girls in the building.
Hey, 10 bands. What's up, beautiful? Hey, y'all. What's going on? It's good to see everybody. What's going on? We appreciate y'all joining us tonight. If y'all haven't already, please hit that like button. Also, if y'all have not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. It helps us be in the algorithm. Am I saying that right? I might be saying it wrong. Shit.
Yeah,
you know what it is. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we try, like we said, we're doing our damnedest with our schedules to try to go live at least once or twice a week. You know what I'm saying? But we do come up, post on our community wall. That way y'all do know that we are still active. Hey, Miss Sheena. Thank you for coming in. But yeah, so yes, y'all. So how has everyone's week been going so far? It is hump day.
Yes, hump day Wednesday.
Boy, let's get over this hump.
I can tell you mine been long already. Sister is tired.
Wow, you.
I'm pushing through.
Girl, you. I'm like, I guess, when I took them bereavement days, girl, they slamming me at work. They slamming me.
Oh wow. Yeah, they said you gotta come back to work and work, okay?
And work, and right.
Thank you, G-Dub. Thank you.
Thank you for our first sticker of the night. Thank you so much, G-Dub. Once again, y'all know we still haven't got together and we don't know how to do this. So we're gonna have to get with cousin as far as setting goals and what our goal is gonna be and how we do that and understanding it all. So we just have to we just appreciate all your support and all your help. Hey, Simply Toya, what's going on?
Thank you. Hey, honey, how are you?
Lady E in the building. What's up, Lady E?
Hey, Lady E. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Thank you, cousin. Cousin coming through with our second super of the day. Love y'all, cousins. We love you more.
Yeah, Tanya C coming through with the super sticker as well. Thank you, love. Thank you.
Yes, yes. We appreciate y'all. So I know y'all seen our topic, the boundaries of social media and the real life. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Social
guess,
media, real life. It
and I
is. It
guess,
is a difference, right? It's
yeah,
a different
yeah, I
kind of
guess,
life.
yeah, I guess we can apply that to, the things that I guess we've been going through on social media as well. But we also want to make it a broader topic because I think we spoke on it once before about how uh, social media can turn wrong in some cases for some people. And I mean that, like, when we first came on the scene, I was already into like social media beef as far as different people and how things play out on social media. In a couple of instances, a lot of people were unalived because
Mm-hmm.
of this beef on social media, or just I have to prove this point. So I'm going to let it play out on social media. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you want to, you can go ahead and step in.
Well, the thing about it is, a lot of people, I think a lot of people get it misconstrued, and don't have boundaries put in place with their with platforms that they have, and not just platforms, but even some subscribers to the platforms. I think some people get stuck off in this matrix, and they take it too far, and people apply emotions to the situation, and it goes overboard a lot of the time. And I think that there hasn't been when people haven't seen it happen, they don't think it can happen. You know what I mean? On any
Right.
level. And that means, people losing control and doing the pull up, or, people going to the law and people being held accountable for their actions, by law. I think that people don't have boundaries set in place and think that fat don't mean greasy until it does happen to someone they themselves or somebody that they see and can bear witness to it. And that's just my take on it. I think that a lot of people don't have boundaries. And that's the biggest issue. There's no
Yeah.
boundaries put in place. And they think that, they're invincible when they're not. And that's the problem. The
Yeah.
opposite. Yeah. So it has been a lot of instances online where, that one story that we covered early on when we did first start the Superfan channel, with the cousins who came to the other cousin house and literally unalived her because of their social media beef. So if cousins can do it to each other, imagine what strange folks
Right. Actually,
can
it was
do.
the cousins. It was like they were having a beef about, I guess, a property tax on a mobile home that the grandmother left to the family, and one of the family members, which is the cousin, and her mom was staying in this, and I guess they got into a big thing about it, and
Hmm.
they were beefing with this girl, and I guess you could tell these two cousins always punked the other cousin. You could tell that this girl uh, got bullied. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And they both pulled up. I guess because they had been so used to bullying her and her not saying nothing and doing anything. They pulled up to the house. And they jumped on. One of them was on top of, trying to make her come off the porch, trying to make the cousin come off the porch to basically fight.
Hmm.
And one of the cousins got on her mom's truck, the other cousin's mom's truck. And when the mom came out and was like, telling the, either the niece or the cousin to get off the truck, she wouldn't. And the girl finally jumps off the porch and basically was like, which one you want? Asking her mama which one you want. You know what I mean? And she unalived both of her cousins right then and there. Like they was
But
one
she
of
was
them.
live. One of them was live.
Yeah, one
And
of them
was
was live. Both of them actually was live. Both of the cousins
Mhm.
were live. Now, the one that was on the porch, who usually, I guess, usually is the quiet one, she didn't have her phone or nothing. These two cousins had their phone. Like they was, since you doing all this for social media, let's show social media how, like you ain't finna do nothing, girl. They basically was calling this girl bluff. They kept saying it, I guess, because she just really hadn't did nothing before. So I guess she just got tired of them, basically taunting her. You know what I'm saying? And then like basically taunting her, just kept going at it. And she walked up on them, and sure enough, one of them actually was unalive on the scene, and then one of them was rushed to the hospital, but she passed on the way to the hospital. So that's what I'm talking about, as far as it's never that serious to where I'm just personally speaking, I'm gonna be on here for somebody I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pulling up on them or anything like that. I feel like if it gets that serious, then I need to step away from the internet. That's
Right.
how I feel. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I feel. I
Hey,
know about
Anomaly.
Hey, Anomaly. What's going on, beautiful? Nisi, what's going on? 12K, got him in the building. What's up? Got him big mad.
It be these.
Yes, Miss Teresa walked up in here. We ain't see you either, Miss Teresa. But yeah, I also was looking at this other story that I had got engulfed in because it was about a guy. It was I guess it was New Orleans. The chick was in New Orleans, and basically they had an on and off relationship. However, this man had a whole chick at home. Now, I think he was in Texas. She's in New Orleans, but they were going back and forth about how, I guess he was, basically trying to hold on to her, knowing that he have a girl, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what his attraction was that he couldn't let her go. But basically, she was basically like trying to move on with her life, but she was on social, she was a social media president. I think she used to be on social media a lot because I think she did like home designs for people, you know what I'm saying? So she was well known in her area. Well, what happened was she broke up with this dude. He had begun to stalk her. Even though he had the girlfriend, right? But he had begun to stalk her. What happened was the girlfriend found out about this chick. They had a back and forth on the internet. Him, her, and the girlfriend had a back and forth on the internet. And basically what he told the police was the reason he will start stalking her or whatever is because he was saying that his girlfriend had a mental breakdown from the argument, right? But then they found out later that this guy was just really obsessed with her, that he couldn't let her go. And because the girl had begun to move on and start dating other people, he got mad. And basically he ran up on them. He stalked the house. He went on and told the police that he stalked the house for days, waiting on his time to basically approach it and overcome the house. So which he did. He ended up holding her mother up. It was her mother, her brother, and her, if I'm not mistaken. I think the mother got away, but he had her hemmed up in the house with a shotgun and made her go live to apologize to his girlfriend before he unalived her.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, on on live. He
Yeah, I think I
unalived her.
saw the tail end of that one. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. So basically, he was just trying to say he was out of his mind. But then after the police, I guess, kept questioning him, it just came out. He just went on and said why he did it, like he couldn't get over it. So you just never know people's state of mind. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You just never know. And I feel like if your state of mind is not really like healthy in a place to where you can handle certain things, then I feel like you sometimes need to kind of reevaluate your mental and your
Right.
mental health. That's what's important. When it gets too obsessive, when you're obsessing over someone and you can't really function in life without obsessing about this person, like, yeah, it's okay for you to come on and commentate on a story, but you also have to balance that with your regular life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I agree with what Rashida D has said. I posted her comment. She says, I think this here internet really brings out some people's internal demons. I agree with
Yes,
you. I just think
yes,
that the way people behave on this internet really is how they behave in real life. And like off the internet. It's just that when they come to the internet, they have an audience cheering on the behavior. And so
hmm,
that makes them feel that it's okay, like, and that it's accepted, where it's like they're literally in a matrix. So they come to the internet to seek approval and validation for their sick behaviors, so I agree with that 100%. People got internal demons and they do come online and express them. And again, once the audience is cheering on that behavior, then that makes them feel like that behavior is okay. Where that behavior truly is not okay, and can definitely go into the realm of obsession and cyberbullying. Like, it truly is in that realm of it, when you cannot control yourself, or when you think that illmatic behavior is accepted, um and it's just really not.
yeah,
It's just not the right way to go about, in my opinion, creating content or entertaining. I mean, but to each his own. At the end of the day, where's the boundary? And that's the topic here. From where's the boundary with social media in real life? And I
exactly.
think that it's a mental disconnect for some that don't have those boundaries. And I think that that's clear in so many
Yeah,
instances here
yeah.
online.
Thank you, Miss Yasin. What's going, Yasmin? I said
I am
Yasin.
good for real. Thank
Yasmin.
you.
Hey, Miss
Happy holidays.
Latanya. My girl Tamik, my boo thing in the building. Hey, Tamik, my
Hey,
boo
come, Nikki,
thing.
Nikki. Hey, lady.
Miss Glenn, thank you so much for the super. I appreciate you all for doing that. I really appreciate that. Now and my friend. Hey, Naomi, what's going on, beautiful? Hey, sis. But I want to piggyback off Mina because um I guess it's a thin line on what you consider normal and abnormal, right? Because sometimes we look at things in different lights. I think a lot of people I know, and I'm sorry to bring this up, I know that we probably got a lot of backlash because they felt like, because of cousin taking a stance on the truth, they felt like we were wrong for taking the stance with her because we believed and we see what she saw, right? But I'm talking about for people who are on here constantly badgering, um, bullying, or harassing someone and they're calling it content. That's where you feel like you have to draw a line there. Now, everybody does have the right to their opinion, but when it crosses over to where you feel like you have to talk about someone's children, that's when it becomes really obsessive. You know what I'm saying? It becomes an obsession. And then it's like, if the person that you're obsessing over is not saying something or not saying anything, and then finally, a person can only take so much. And
Well,
then
I
they,
think it's obsessive, though, outside of the children aspect. If we're talking about this, sector thing that's happening, I think it's obsessive when it's on a person. I don't care who that person is. I think if anyone is constantly, if your content is to wake up and it's one person, now to each his own, I suppose people have the right to do so. But if you wake up and your content is just to bash or drag a person, especially a woman, at this point, even if it is that woman that has been talked about, recently being dragged. My thing is, if every day obsession, like for how many years of your life are you going to do that? That's my thing, and it's not okay, because at the end of the day, what is the goal? It has no merit, has absolutely no point at all. To talk about the woman's kids, that's a whole nother level of low. I'm sorry. That right there is not something anybody in their right mind with decent morals should even be excited about supporting. Like, that's crazy. And then along this sector, it's always been kids is off limit. Kids is off limits. We've seen people doxxed. We've seen people, um, parents deceased talked about. I mean, so the new low is the kids. So to each his own. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing right about it. And if you talk
Yeah.
about somebody every single day, you got to be obsessed, because it's just not, I don't care. It's just not that much to talk about on
Yeah.
one person.
On one person at all. Hey, Jen, thank you for coming in. Hey, my Miss LaCondes. Now, I see them saying, hey, Miss Fee, but I don't see Miss Fee. We
That's what I'm
still ain't
saying.
got
And see, we cannot see her on this page. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that we can't see you, sis.
Like,
I
we
don't
see
like that.
everybody speaking to you, but we don't see anything
Yes,
from
I
you.
don't like that at all. Miss McConnell said, I agree, Mina. There's content creating and then there's just picking and bullying, especially if this person isn't even responding.
Right. I mean, especially if the person hasn't given you a reason. And I suppose some people think the reason is because of um the past relationship that she had and how it ended, but that's been over. That's been over with. So, now what? Now what is it? Again, how long do you go, with dragging somebody's life, like their day to day, their life? Like, it is some form of cyberbullying to that.
Mm-hmm.
No which way
Mm-hmm.
you flip it. Like, it has to have it should have a cutoff. But with those that don't have sanity, that don't have a sane mind, then it just may not be a cutoff, unless somebody get it cut off. And I suppose that's where the point where that lady may be at this point. I mean, I can't say I don't blame her, you know. So it
Exactly.
is what it is.
Yeah. I totally agree. I just feel like um at some point, and I'm gonna use this for an example because they're a little higher in the ranks. I'm just gonna use a Carly B and Tasha K situation.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think
a good example.
I think when she was bullying Cardi B, and prone and prowling, and then I think Cardi B actually went to her on some real woman's shit and said, look, please stop lying out here, stop putting these lies out on me. I'm asking you nicely, my kids, basically, just telling her like her mental stability as far as her continue on doing that. But
Yeah, we see you
obviously,
now, Miss Fee. I'm sorry, sis. What you do? Well, you weren't on.
yeah.
Did you do? Because it's been like that. That's crazy. I don't know what you did, but yeah, we see you.
Yeah, now we see you, sis. What you do? She must be on the other page because I think she got another page too. Hey, Miss Janice. I think she got another page too, but I'm only saying that because I think she asked Tasha Cat, maybe several times before she threatened to press charges. And I guess Tasha was like, it ain't gonna stand up in court, But as you see, it stood up in court. You see what I'm saying? Because she was able to prove that this girl, I hadn't been saying anything to this girl. I haven't even been going back and forth with this girl, but she continue on. She's causing me this. She's causing me that. My mental state has been, I had to go see a therapist. All this came out in court. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
this lady actually won her case and won millions. Let's
Yes,
not
you
talk
did.
about the money she won. You know what I'm saying? That she probably, is gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure she ain't got paid all her money. You get what I mean? So sometimes you don't want to put yourself in this position. if you really believe in your craft and you say you're a content creator, then you could it's easier for you to talk about other content, right? And feel comfortable about it. So now it comes to a point of what is your motive? Is money the motive right now?
Oh, that's for sure. That's definitely the case. But so money is definitely the motive. I wouldn't say that it's not. To me, it's the obvious. And so be it. But then all money is not good money in my world, and that's why we never really got down like that over here anyway. Like that's just not the move. All money is not good money. And at the end of the day, I'm a woman, I'm a mother, you know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody gonna drag my daughter like that, and there's no consequences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's just like if you don't want it done to you, you don't do it to someone else. And sometimes people have to understand that they're not the judge. You know what I'm saying? Like some things for
hmm,
real, the big God do just handle if it need to be handled.
right.
But it's consequences to your actions, and whatever you do, any seed you sow is going to bear its fruit at some point.
Yeah,
That's just how it go. That's just
yeah,
how it go. But to drag somebody, you never know what people is going through or what type of side of the bed they're waking up on.
yeah,
So
yeah,
to try to help them, feel any worse than they could possibly feel, especially if they're getting beat down every single day, like nonstop. What's the goal? Like, what you really trying to
hmm,
do?
yeah. Miss LaConda said it's sickening at this point. I don't agree with a lot of stuff she done. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that she's done, but she has apologized and trying to move on. What else do they want? Exactly.
Well, you know what? That's a very accurate comment, Lacandas. I feel that same way about um I don't want to bring her name up, but the sister that has gotten dragged and still getting dragged. When she's apologized and then the sister and the sister-in-law, they have both apologized and move forward. So it's just like let people grow and go. It's the people
Yeah.
who want to keep people down that I cannot get with. Like
Hmm.
we're trying to hold people down, but then even and talking from a place as if you are the person to even have the audacity to hold somebody down. It's that for me. So it's just like let people grow and go. Let these women that have made these mistakes, these people that have made these mistakes, that have apologized, that you see are trying, they ain't paying this drama no attention, that's trying to move on. Let them people go. Let them move on. You know, like at what point is anybody like what is the goal, like what is people trying to aim at, like what will satisfy these people that keep dragging these people, like
Right.
what will be the self-gratification, what do they want to see? That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the sickness in it. It's like they want the worst for that person, so that lets you know how
Yeah.
miserable they really are inside
Eh,
themselves.
yeah. Yeah.
That's just sad.
Yeah, and they can say, well, she's a content creator, she's a celebrity. If it was a regular celebrity, because you're gonna get that too. A regular celebrity wouldn't, try to if everybody reports on celebrities every day and they ignore it. But sometimes people don't want to ignore it, especially when you come for their kids. You get what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like, yeah, okay, keep it on me. You know what I'm saying? Kids is off freaking limits. You know what I mean? Don't bring my deceased nothing into it. Just keep it on me. If you've got a beef with me, you shouldn't have no beef with my
But
kids. You
that's
know what
what
I'm
that's
saying?
what you got to check the psyche of the individual that's going to that limit, because yeah, especially if it's another content creator that's getting whatever. Okay, we grown tit for tat. That's what it be. But yeah, the kids, like, come on, man. Like, where is your boundaries? What is the limit? You saying there's no cap on it? Is none? Then you just out here like a Tasmanian devil out here running wild.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's not
Come on
cool
now.
at all. It's not. And I don't agree with that one bit. Hey, Troy Parks, thank you for coming in here. I just feel like at some point you have to draw your own line. What's your line? You know what I'm saying? You have to draw your own line, even just for your own sanity. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I don't know. I guess because we have a lot of daredevils here. Like they don't mind getting choked on a rope. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, me being choked on a rope days is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't wanna or wish that on anybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at all to me, I'm just like this. All money ain't good money. You know what I mean? I know that from experience. All money ain't good money. So I feel like if you have to come on here every day to bully and bash somebody, you know what I'm saying, to make your money, then you need to think of another profession. That's just how I feel. And I do look at other bloggers and I look at other content creators, just like I did. I think I forgot her name, but it's something world. And I always watch her, but her whole content is about Krishan and Blueface for a long time. I mean, for maybe a few years since this been rolling. Her whole content, she followed that girl. She followed them. She followed the other girl. What's her name? Jaden. But all her content about them wasn't negative, if that makes any sense. She blogged about them, some of the stuff that she was like, yeah, I feel, but she wasn't bashing. She doesn't bash like babies or nothing like that. She wasn't bashing none of them. She was just giving her opinion on how she feel like Christiana might have been acting or Blueface might have been acting, or they could have took this approach or that approach. She didn't talk about what they had on. She wasn't talking about, Krishan feet was hanging over in her shoe. She didn't talk about none of that. She just talks about them as individuals and how she feel like her opinion on they handle some things wrong or right. She doesn't go bashing. That's not what she does. So basically, that's what I'm saying. You can speak on someone's if you have your opinion on how they moving or whatever, because it is your opinion. But when it gets down and to the root and dirty, and y'all investigating the girl mouth, y'all seeing her eyeballs crossed. I mean, just all kind of stuff. Oh, she looked boogie today. Look what she got on. I think at a point you have to draw some type of line for yourself and what you feel is content creating and what you feel is bullying.
But says my thing is, if that content is being supported, if there's an audience, then that person that's doing that type of entertainment is going to feel like it's okay because people are cheering them on, and the thing about it is, I think that's the issue. Because I mean, common sense let anybody know that talking about kids is foul. Even the people that's supporting it, they know it ain't right. But it's like people will geek you up. They'll geek you up all the way to the courtroom. You know what I mean? And then you be up in that mug, standing up in that mug by yourself.
Yeah.
They geek
And
you
then
up, though.
people hollering this. It's free speech. It's freedom of speech. But if all the evidence was played in court and the judge see that this is not freedom, this is not nearly freedom of speech, because I'm pretty sure that's what he would say. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would look at it as to where, yeah, you have your opinion on things. You could say, what they had wrong, but when you get to like the nitty gritty of investigating this girl down to her nails, you are now in the realm of cyberbullying.
Well, the way I've seen it, because it's gone on so long, I'm like, either she wants them to do this, to keep the circulation of her name. This is my thought process, right? Because it's been happening. She must want that, because some people say any publicity is all publicity is good, good or bad is publicity. So maybe that's the case, but again, yeah, where's the boundary for her with that? So I think what has been stated is her kids is the boundary. Like, that's the line you just don't cross.
Right.
And so, either people are going to respect that or not. They're going to continue to not respect it. But at the end of the day, with anything you do, with every action, it's a reaction and there's consequences to things. So, but for people who don't believe that think that they're, bigger than everything, then they don't care. They don't have a care. They're going to act like that, and that's entertaining for people. But again, that's not the mindset of everyone. That's the mindset of the ones doing it, that feel like they can keep doing it until something is put in place for them to stop doing it.
Yeah. And as you see, it's like a lot of people, they feel like, they law proof, they bulletproof, they all kind of proof. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm still going to do what I need to do to bring what I need to bring to my audience.
And you're right, Tamik, the courts do not play about kids. It's a fact. They don't. I haven't heard what was said. I'm just hearing what people are saying out here because I don't listen to them folks, especially that one. But, I heard about it, and the courts don't play about kids. They're not going to take, cyberbullying is a real thing. Bullying is a big deal. It's organizations out here that fight against, especially for kids bullying, It's people out here that would, really put some things in action in that case, and especially for children. Some of the courts are not fond of bullying.
Hold on, I've had Miss Latanya. I seen it before it went up. She said, I have seen a few of the CCs trying to move on, and numbers were low, and they came back to the dramas to get the numbers back up.
I understand it. I get it, and you do need drama for your channel to pump. That's obvious. But, we're talking about the people who every day, same thing, same person, every day, nonstop, to the point of what are you wanting from, what do you want to see of this person? Or what is your goal with only doing this type of content?
Exactly.
On an individual that's asked you to stop, that now is feeling like they got to force you to stop.
Yeah.
Or at least stop on their children.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Tamik said pretty much they can talk about her all day, every day. Just don't talk about her children. That's how any woman would feel. Exactly.
Right.
Like, exactly. Why is you attacking my baby? You know what I'm saying? And y'all worried about how my children look, and y'all pressing this girl on show the babies,
So, we've had these discussions behind the scenes, and my thing is, it's not even so much when people are on these platforms and give voice in their opinions or their malice or whatever it is they're on there doing. It's not the person that's using their voice. It's more so the people, in my opinion. It's more so the people, the audience that they're captivating, and the incitement that they're pouring into those people, because you don't know who these people are, and you're inciting them. You're feeding their mind. You're engaging with them, and it's a whole lot of crazies out here. It's a whole lot of crazies out here that will do the things that you act like you want to do, or will, stand in the gap for the things you say, So it's people out here that will, and it has happened where folks be fanned out over their favorite CC, and they go wilding out on the person that you obsessed with.
Right. And then you don't know
kids you obsessed with.
Or you don't know who people that you feel like you meet or whatever, and you really don't know nothing about them. You just going by hearsay, or you making up lies or whatever on them. You don't never know who these people got rolling with them either.
Yeah, it's true too.
Who some people, they do have people in their families that really don't care. You do have some people. Everybody got a family member who don't care. Like, I take the charge. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm on it. So it comes a point in time to where you have to reevaluate your purpose. That's just how I see it. You have to reevaluate what your purpose is.
Good night, Tamik. Have a good night, sweetie.
Good night, Tamik, my boo thing. Okay. Yes, thank you. She said, great conversations piece. Yes. I just feel like let's just call a spade as far as where this little genre sector is concerned. We all came out here on a purpose. It was sides in the beginning, right? It was her side, it was his side, right? Everybody had a goal. Let's just call it what it is, to prove what they were trying to prove, and the same for the other side, right? Now that everything has been proven, right? If you're satisfied with what was proven, and this side was satisfied with what was proven from their, from what they, found, what is your real purpose now?
Well, I don't know. I beg to differ. I don't think everybody came into this with the purpose. I don't. I think it's a whole lot of bandwagoners here, in my opinion. I think a lot of people came into this and they saw the entertainment in it. And then they just flocked to people that they felt like they could relate to. Because
Mhm.
now, yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying from the standpoint of how Superfan has operated, how we chose to operate it. But I don't think that everybody had a purpose. Like some people just came into it for the entertainment piece, and they're still here for the entertainment piece. And those that are entertaining them, they really don't have a purpose. I mean, or either they switched their purpose, and now the purpose is to, harass, I guess, the ex forever.
Mhm.
On both sides. Because honestly, he get it too. He
Yeah.
still get it too. So I just think that it's certain people who got a mission and that's their purpose at this point,
Mhm.
because what is left of the matter? These people have gone on or should have gone on with their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. They should have. They
But
should.
how, I mean, and my thing is like even if they, even if she, let's stick to she, even if you don't like what she's doing with her life, who are you to judge? Like, what about your life? Like,
Oh
what you
wow.
got going on with your life?
Oh
You
wow.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And what about
Talk
your
talk
life?
about. I was gonna say talk about it.
Yeah, like you got to have something important in your own life, right? To talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's amazing to me. I mean, maybe that's just not how I'm cut. It's just not anybody in the world, content creator, whatever, or not, I find most that interesting to talk about every day, or
Mhm.
even 3-4 times out the week.
Mhm. Mhm.
Absolutely nobody. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's obsession to me. I'm sorry. Any way
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
took it.
Yeah. Like, who made you the judge and jury of this girl's life? You get what I'm saying? Like, well, who made you, like, needed to critique everything that she does now? You know what I'm saying? You've proven what you came out here to prove, you know what I'm saying? Why are you still having a problem with her or him for that matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, whatever grievances you have, if you say you have a forgiving heart and you can move on, then why is that so hard to do now? You get what I'm saying? Like, why is that so hard to do now is what I'm saying. That's
Right
the only
now.
thing.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm with I'm with you on that, man. I just don't play around with karma. I can create my own problems. I don't need anyone to help me. I know that's right.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, hey, D Red One. They said if a judge ever issues a cease and desist court order, that's gonna take away 99.95% of some people's content, forcing some of these CCs to be actual produce. What's that?
To be
Actually
to
produce
produce content.
content. Yeah,
Hmm.
actually
Yeah.
produce content. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry I got stumbled on them last words, but that's about right. You know what I mean? It is. I
If
just
they
feel
don't get
like
if they don't get banned, because a judge could enforce that,
right.
but you don't even deserve to have a channel because you don't know how to act. Go to
Yeah.
timeout. They could do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, perfectly imperfect. I think that my thing is, if you're your genuine self and you have a net or you have a niche for this, um, then you will be able to do content on whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like if you feel like, and then it's always people always say, I hear this a lot too. Your channel dry, y'all dry, this dry. Well, I'd rather be dry than stupid. Let me just call it what it is. I'd rather be dry than stupid. I'd rather be my authentic self than stupid. You know what I'm saying? For people who are just coming to hear gossip or to just hear me bully somebody every day. I just couldn't be on that type of time. You know how much energy that takes to be negative? Whether people believe it or not, it takes more energy to be negative than positive. Just look at it. And I guess because y'all using so much energy on being negative, and you know what I'm saying, y'all are getting rewarded in other ways, you know what I'm saying, for being negative, y'all don't mind putting in that energy. But I would rather put my energy into something positive and see it grow healthy, you know what I'm saying, to see it grow with people that I know that's going to genuinely support it, not just support it and this is my thing, and I always told Mina this, I always wanted our supporters to be genuine supporters. People who gonna be there, rock with us, regardless whatever we talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't always about a packed house. It ain't always about the quantity of people. It's about the quality of people.
That part.
Yeah, that you need to have in your corner. You know what I'm saying? Because the quality of a person is going to show you how long and how far they're going to go with you in believing in what you do. You know what I'm saying? Believing, and not just because you on the bobo all the damn time, all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something more that people see in themselves as well. You know what I'm saying? You have to see much more in yourself in order to be positive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to look deep within yourself if you're out here being negative to be positive. So sometimes for people who's continually being negative, it is hard for them to be positive. That's a task. They feel like it's easier because it's something that this is what they've always wanted to do. This is them. This is genuinely them being the negative people that they are. You know what I'm saying? And I just call it like I see it. You know what I mean? Everybody don't see it like me, but I'm just speaking on me right now. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you can poke and make fun of people because we have comedians all around the world who do it on a regular. But I just never seen a comedian that I've ever went to go see, and I've seen a lot of them, that if they pick someone in the audience, they usually are making fun of what they have on or asking them a question about something, and they answer it and make a joke out of it. I've never seen a comedian just pick somebody out the audience and start attacking their kids.
The whole entire show. And then every city they go to.
You see,
every time they hit the stage.
They talking about that one person they picked out of their audience in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying?
They talking about them in New York.
In New York.
Texas too.
They bring them back up.
They gonna talk about the same person.
Detroit, wherever they go.
The Carolinas.
Yeah, that one joke lingers.
Yeah, that same dude that was sitting in the front row at the first city. We still talking about him in the 20th
we
city.
still talking. We talking about him, and we did a 25 city tour, and we still talking about that one guy in Sacramento.
The whole show.
Make that make sense. Do you know how many sales you will lose? Because now people will be like, I'm not paying my money to hear about some nigga that he talking about from in Sacramento. I'm saying.
How long you gonna laugh at the joke?
They be right. They be like, man, get your lame ass off the stage. Like, nigga, you said that joke 15 shows ago. Why we still hearing the same shit?
It's last year.
You feel me? Like, How many times we gonna hear this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, lame, dude. I don't spend my damn money for nothing fucking around this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So people, I don't know why people choose to be in this warp mindset to where they feel like harassing or bullying somebody is warranted on a daily. I don't understand how you feel like that is called freedom of speech.
Why do
You
you feel?
feel what
But
I'm saying?
why does your moral compass feel like it's okay? Why is your moral compass pointing to the north with that activity? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
why are you okay with that? Like,
yeah,
and you know, like, how is that normal to you? You know,
yeah, yeah.
like, why is that your norm? Is
Yeah,
my
I was
question.
trying to say,
You
why
know
is
what I
it
mean?
your normal? Like, how do do you feel like it's warranted every day, all day? You know what I mean? And it's like, why do you feel like it's warranted all day? Because of that lie she told way back when, 3 years ago? We still holding on to that? Or a lie she told last year, or a lie she told last week, or a lie she told the week before that. If you've
But what
proven
about
your
your
point,
lie? What about the lies
yeah,
you tell? The lies you told? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Talk about that.
mm-hmm,
You know, that's
mm-hmm.
the thing. Like, whenever you say something to somebody, what they say, you point a finger, you got three pointing back. You know?
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. That's why you should be basically very cautious of how you are saying your or doing your freedom of speech. Let me just say that, since that's what y'all want to call it. You have to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Content creating, I ain't gonna everybody, yes, this, that, is that, but it does take a certain type of skill, because now you're on a worldwide social media web, to where you don't know if you're gonna get caught up in the algorithm, and you don't know how many people gonna see you. You see what I'm saying? So now that this is in a pool, or a river, like a stream, is going down, and now you're pushed into somebody else's algorithm, and they just see you. And what if it falls into an anti-bullying
Mhm.
sector? Now they need to know
Mhm.
more about you. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of things, because just don't think that we're the only sector on the YouTube. No, you have different sectors, and I'm talking about, it's a lot of them out there. So just keywords or common words, you just never know how you may get swept up in there. So then what do you do at that point? Then instead of you, then you may have a whole organization or whatever on your back, because you're on this chick. You know what I'm saying? For no apparent reason, just because you don't like her.
At the end of
And
the day, them people gonna forever be connected. That's the thing that blows me with folks that's continuing the junk, because they're forever connected. You know, so it's going to come a point where something's going to change. Something's going to have to happen with someone or some people for things to be different. That's just the
mhm,
end of the story. That's just how it has to be, because people are making the conscious decision to keep up the buffoonery with people that are going to be forever connected. You
right,
know, so if they don't have these people that's are going to keep up the foolery, don't have a cap, just know that it's not going to continue the way it is. Because one thing about life, everything is temporary. Don't nothing stay the same. So, enjoy while you got the ride. That's all I can say. I'm talking
yeah,
about just how life is. Life be
mhm,
life, and no nothing stay the same up in this piece. So just enjoy the ride, because everything is temporary. So something got to change at some point.
cousin, I'm sick of you now. But
What you say?
tell me, I'm innocent of all charges.
Me too. Me too. Oh my god.
Because I walked out
Oh,
free. I
fool.
walked out free, cousin.
Just put some money on my books.
You feel me? Thank you,
Hey, so
Anomaly, for that beautiful, super super. I appreciate you, beautiful anomaly. But yeah, at some point, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Like they think we think crazy or we're delusional because I've heard that. Like, y'all are delusional. Y'all are just delusional. And then we're on the opposite side saying y'all ass delusional. You know what I'm saying? So where is the medium in that?
People got to think for themselves. I think that's the problem. It's just more people who blindly follow junk.
Yeah.
Period. Like, they just blindly follow the junk.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, they cool with it. You cool with it? I'm cool with it. That's how that go.
Yeah. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. You know, you have to come to some common denominator in your mind. What would be the common denominator? And what would make you, you know, and it's crazy that every time they want us to answer a question, and I just been noticing this, like just say for trolls, if the trolls come in the comments or whatever, they be saying something and they always have these questions or they're bashing us in the comment section. But we would answer. I've never heard not one person who had a troll that come into their chat not answer the troll's question, right? I'm just talking about the chats that I've been in recently. But
you said they don't answer the troll question.
They answer them. Like if the trolls ask a question, just like we've had a troll come in.
I'm laughing at Tiff in the comments. She a damn clown. Trying to put Mel in the car with her while she do her ride out. I swear, man. Oh man, I'm sorry, sis.
But I'm just saying, I've seen it. You know, I've seen people answer the questions. But it's like soon as, just like we just had a situation on Cousins panel, we brought the girl up, the troll girl, and we asked her questions. She could never answer the question. It was like
they don't think for themselves.
Yeah, it's like they avoid the questions we ask. Like y'all want us to answer questions, we answer them, and then when we ask the question back, y'all don't have no answer for them, or y'all avoid the question.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that happen a lot. So if y'all can't even answer a simple question, why would we even think that the way that y'all thinking is valid?
And that's a question.
And that's a question. You see what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. I don't get it. You know,
you can't make sense to where sense is not made, honey. Ain't no sense. Ain't no sense with sense they made.
Man, give me something to work with. That's all I be wanting.
Said I'm late. Miss Diddy said I'm late. What's the question? Repeat it.
You see what I'm saying? Miss Diddy, yes, Miss Diddy, yeah. She said, "What's the question?" We just really talking about how, you know, the boundaries on social media against, you know, in real life. You know what I'm saying? How are y'all balancing it? This is my thing. How are y'all balancing the real life from the social media mentally? That was the biggest question. You know what I mean? And how are you okay from, I guess, our eyes with bullying or harassing or stalking someone day after day after day after day after day? Does your brain ever go on reset or rest? You know, I'm just saying, or is it running on a treadmill? Because it looks like it's running on a treadmill. You know what I'm saying?
It's on auto. For real. Some people's stuff is on auto.
It's on 70. Like, you know how you keep your thermostat on 70? It's on 70.
Mm-hmm.
It's just staying on 70. Right. On off. You know, I just don't get it. And I guess I probably will never understand it. But people, we just really have to make sure that we are balancing the boundaries that we put on social media and the real life. You know what I'm saying?
But I think as subscribers and people that follow, you know, whoever they follow, I think if you don't have a balance, like if you just gotta log on every time the notifications come on, then you aren't balanced. That's not a healthy balance. You have to take breaks from this joint here. You have to know how to turn it off and reset. Because if not, you're gonna be sucked up. You're gonna get swallowed.
Yeah.
You're gonna get swallowed up. And then you're gonna look up and you're gonna realize that you're sacrificing a lot of your what you consider your moral practice. Because
Yeah.
you so consumed with, I believe that people get like hypnotized by the people that they listen to all the time, constantly, because you have to believe in what you're listening to. If you're sitting up listening to it all the time, you believe it. If not, you will eventually, because you're taking it in. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people get really just sucked in by the entertainment because it's funny or it's entertaining, but you're tuning in and you're also getting tuned up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people get sucked up in it. They get lost in the sauce, man, and don't even know it. And they look up and they be supporting some real foolish stuff, man, and don't even know it.
Yeah, you're right. Cause anybody dragging a baby, anybody dragging a baby's is just diabolical.
That is diabolical.
Like I would never get on here and talk about someone's child. You know what I'm saying? No matter how I felt about you, I just wouldn't. That's just I just couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Not an innocent child. You know what I'm saying? Or a child don't even know that you really on here. Why drag them into it? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, and then it's like, because you have a disdain for me, you want to come for me super duper hard to try to break me down. So the way that you can do that is not criticizing me, is going for my family, or or trying to dox me, or you're stalking me, you're stalking my channel, or my lives, or my pages, or seeing what I have on, or how I dressed, and how I look in this and how I look in that, or what you feel is fake and what you feel is not. Like, that's when it becomes bullying to me.
Miss Platinum Bracelet says, how many times does it take for a judge to admonish someone to stop harassing people online before a person realizes that going to prison is a real option, especially for a stranger? I mean, my opinion to that is, I think it'll take one good time for somebody to see that it is real. I think a lot of people on this internet don't think that it exists. And I think that people, because like I said earlier, maybe you were not here, but because people support it, they laugh at it, they cheer it on. That makes the person that's doing it think it's okay because they're getting away with it. Yeah, they're laughing. It's entertainment. It's for entertainment purposes only, as a disclaimer. But, every word has a description. Obsession, harassment, cyber stalking, bullying, all these things have just definitions. These aren't words that just exist and it's fun saying them. They have definitions. And then, it's laws that are put in place for some of those words. And then when people act to and behave like some of those words, then it applies to them at the end of the day. And yeah, that is a judge's decision if it goes in front of a judge. And some people don't believe that until they're in that position. And guess what? All those people that's laughing, cheering them on, is not going to be there in a case like that. They're just not going to be in there supporting them like that. Not in real life. So again, the boundaries from social media and real life, people got it misconstrued and they playing with it,
Yeah. Miss Latanya said, let's just keep it real. All the threats and talking about kids are coming from the other side. And I'm not talking about what happened in the past. I'm talking about now.
I agree with that. I can't say all is. I would say this because I don't look at everybody, but when I do look, I've seen things. And have I can say this. I'm disappointed in seeing some people doing certain things and then some people condoning it, because they weren't in the past, put it that way. But it's like now you are. So everything that y'all said that y'all was against, like you're literally doing it yourself. If you wasn't doing it then, you're literally doing it now. So that right there, I totally agree with you. Yes, it is people that are doing it now, and it's sick.
Mm-hmm. Cousin said, calling a baby a stiff is all I needed to hear. Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Oh my God. So
Yeah, that's effed up.
oh,
That's it for real,
because
man.
a stiff is somebody deceased, ain't it? So
Yeah,
so you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like
that's
that
that. I
and
mean, how demonic is that? That's evil as hell.
yeah.
That's beyond like that. To even that's not normal. That's not something that comes out a normal person's mouth. Like that's not something that's even funny.
No, it's
Like
not.
that's sick, man.
Okay.
It's definitely gone too far. Hmm. Little Bill with your baby.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's why I
God,
was
y'all!
laughing
I
at Little
cannot.
Bill with your bitter ass.
I can't. Y'all be
These
killing
names,
me.
these
Like,
names kill me. She
yeah.
said, wonder will he be going to court and support her like she is supporting him, or will she have to stand alone?
Hey, sister teacher, how you doing?
Hey, sister teacher, how are you? Um, um, I couldn't answer that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't, you know what I mean? But I just feel like if it gets to the point to where you have to go to court, you know it don't went too far. Let me just say that.
Yeah, your content shouldn't have to make you go to court. Like that should tell you something is not right with your content. If you have to go to court behind your content, that should tell you something's not right with your content. Like is touching a line of something. And you just, if you have any decency about yourself, you should just not be okay with that. Like you should be able to check yourself.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
if you ain't got
definitely.
friends around you to check you, because usually, grown people have friends, but you ain't got friends. That should tell you something too. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
check yourself.
yeah.
You know.
So D Red once said, being behind a computer has made people think they can do whatever they want to do. Throw a little money behind it and they feel
Hmm.
invisible. But
Right.
karma is a itch.
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it is. Yes, it
Money
is.
will have people acting extra,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and superior and supreme, and real mess people head up, especially if they never had any, and they see it or they have it now or something like it. Yeah, people, yeah, can lose their mind.
yeah. And I mean, seriously, you know what I mean? Mel said, I could never stoop that low, even towards my worst enemy, if I had any. I agree. I don't think I could either. I don't care if I do not like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I've strongly disliked people in my lifetime, and I just have never talked about anybody kids. Like that's not even a thought. Even if I strongly disliked someone, like their parent, I never thought to talk about anybody's children. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that too. I also feel like, at some point you have to um reevaluate where you're going. If you calling this your business, right? Because a lot of people consider, this what they're doing, they're content creating one of their businesses, right? So basically, just say for instance, if we could write reviews on your channel. Let's just, me, I always think that way. You know what I'm saying? So just say for instance, everybody here had a review page or could write reviews on your channel. What would they write?
All right.
What would real people write? Real consumers. What would they write?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like if we could just be like in a review, just like you review people's the clothing or whatever you order, they want you to write a review or whatever. What if you could write a review on people's channels? What would your review be?
Hmm. Lady is funny. She say, make y'all want to say, who the hell were we dealing with? Lifetime is ready for you to tell your story with the eyeballs. Child.
Exactly, because it does feel like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, it is.
And
It
I'm talking about
really
this could be a series, and I just feel like, and I just feel like if you feel like what you're doing is just, and yeah, I feel like, my freedom of speech is warranted. You know what I'm saying? Or me, bashing this girl. You know what I'm saying? Because she should have never did this. She should have never did that. Or he should have never did this. Or he should have never did that. Okay. Everybody in this situation is human, right? So they're allowed to make the mistake, right? They are. They're allowed to make them. Who holds you? Like I say, what would make y'all the judge and jury? And then it ain't even the judge and jury if you're bullying them, because you could never go in
Mhm.
a courtroom and bully anybody. Not in a courtroom.
It's a judge there too, so that is the thing. People have this judge mentality where, it's a couple other judges that's higher ranked than but who certified you anyway? That's my thing. Who said you're spiffy? Talk about
Yeah.
your job, before you talk about somebody else's. That's my thing. When people be on this internet dragging people,
Hmm.
you got to talk about your stuff first before you start dragging the next person. And when you say, and don't lie about it, but talk
Right.
about your stuff first,
Right.
every day before you talk about somebody else's, and then make it make sense.
Hmm.
Because in my world, it don't make sense. Some people don't have that room at all, and that's the crazy part.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. So we just wanted to bring, because we are, I guess we call ourselves the lighter channel. We just wanted to bring a little light to what we see from our eyes, from our focal point. You know what I'm saying? Like what we see. And normally 9 times out of 10, we really don't be off too much. I'm just gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Well, we see exactly what we see. You know what I'm saying? So you can't convince us that we don't see it. You know what I mean? And it has to come to a point to where you need a cap. What's your cap at the end of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your goal? Like, what is your, I guess this is about money. What is your money goal? How much are you trying to make off of the bullying at this point? You know what I'm saying? Or where's your conscience at? Like, is money ruling your conscience too? We need to ask that as well. Is money
Gloria,
ruling your conscience? Where's your
Gloria's
conscience at?
comment.
Yeah.
I have to talk about it. She said this obsession reminds me of Maria when she unalived Selena. These people have dehumanized this lady. This is sickening and dark and getting worse. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And I think, okay, so I would say I'm not I almost said her name, but I'm not a supporter of hers. But again, I'm a woman. And just because you stand in the paint and the gap for something that you believe in doesn't mean you turn around and literally do the same thing to the person that you are standing against. Like
Exactly.
that is nothing right about that. Like nothing in the world is right about that. That's just not, for one, is definitely immature as hell, and
Mhm.
it looked like you playing with some ego, with the law a little bit, because people ready and sick of it and want to, try to stop the actions. But it's just like, how do you justify saying I stand for somebody being blamed for something they didn't do, somebody being dragged, but yet you turn around and you are repeating those actions
Yeah.
literally almost every day.
Yeah. 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 Basically.
Insane. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it,
And
like you don't have room for that. Like make it make sense. And it's
yeah,
not just one person. We ain't talking about this one person here. We're talking about those that are doing it still.
yeah,
Not when there was a true issue, because the issue is done. So
yeah,
now it's just people getting off on being bullies, period, and claiming it to be their content.
yeah, yeah,
Which is
yeah,
okay, it's their content, but is it? You might have a problem with that. Like it might, your content might have to be, be judged upon.
yeah. Now I had to pin D Red One's comment. She said, "How can it be a business when the business would be out of business as soon as the subject is switched? Ain't a real business to me. Just a quick money scam to me."
Scammy, boy, sound like scammy ammy to me. I get a little triggered by that word scam, y'all.
Oh God! I just didn't know you was gonna say that, but
Yeah, it sound a little scammy to me.
I just had to read that one because that makes a lot of sense.
I never thought about it that way, but yeah, it does.
Yes, it does. I'm like, oh, that was a good point right there. You
That's
know
a
what I'm
little
saying?
malicious. Yeah.
Hey, me, welcome in, beautiful.
Hey, me.
Me said, if the Lord asks the dread head and the crip, why are they speaking the way they are? I truly would like to know their answer. We all would like to know the answer.
At this
Before the
point, it
Lord
sounds
asked
like
them,
just
before the
yes, the
Lord
Lord.
asked them, we trying to ask them. You see what I'm saying? Before the Lord gets to them, I want to know. Like before you go talk to the master, what was it? You know what I'm saying? Before you get up there, you know what I'm saying? So we all trying to figure it out, and it's probably never going to come back to uh nothing logical. I don't think so. You can't have a logical reason for bullying nobody. But your deep obsession with them, or you just don't like them. You know what I mean? I know that we've come under attack a lot of times, and guess what? We was barely on here. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Mhm.
felt like our job was complete. So let's move on to what we said we were gonna do our next task. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that. We gotta, do regroup and do what we need to do because we feel like what we did, and it's over, right? So that's my thing. Like, when are you going to realize that you don't have an answer for why you're doing what you're doing, other than what we say it is? You know what I mean? And I don't know why people are choosing not to see it at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that they feel like this is their entertainment, maybe, and they feel like they just need that type of entertainment, And I just never seen no one who really didn't know anybody who despised a person that much to be on a bandwagon or a rah-rah with someone that was
Yeah,
bashing and
you would
bullying
think that there's
somebody.
somebody that you would really think that this is somebody that did something to you personally or your family, like somebody to you. Like, but even those, boy, even those that feel like something was done to them, to their family, they're over it. You know, it's a couple of them anyway, or at least one I know. Let me say one that I know. It's over it. So it's just like, this ain't even your people. This really ain't your people.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, it is. It's definitely the bag, but it's definitely some internal issues there, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's something deep within you that you probably ain't went to go see about, or you ain't figured out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how can I say this without sounding messy?
They're gonna call you that anyway. Just say it, shit.
The same way y'all feel like y'all are bashing this girl for things that she's not doing or done or whatever. Have you ever reflected and looked at yourself and said, damn, I was once her. I once did that. I once did that. You get what I'm saying? But I'm talking about her because of why? Because she's in the public eye, or I feel like because I did it, it shouldn't hold no merit. She should do it because she's supposed to be this and she's supposed to be that. But at the end of the day, she's just as human as you and I.
Right. Me has a question. She said, "Can I ask a question? I never heard you all say this, but why do you think she has scammed, she has scammed us when truly she has never any funds given we asked how to donate. She truly has never asked for funds." I'm honestly, because maybe I don't pay that much of attention. I really don't. I've never said that she scammed anybody. You're right. We've never said that. And maybe some that have said it, but if they have said that, again, I take it back to they got to ask themselves. They're on the internet. So who they scamming? Who you scamming? And who you scamming real life? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, internet, real life. We talking about scams. So yeah, I'll just leave that there. Don't get me started. But I don't know.
Why would y'all? Did she just say scam was a trigger for her? And y'all.
Any funds given, we ask to donate. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're, and maybe, excuse me if I'm not answering your question, but maybe that's something that you've heard some folks out here say. And if they're saying that, if they're content creators and if they're collecting gifts or donations from their supporters, then they got to ask themselves that question first. Who was they scamming? That's how that's the way I see it. Who you scamming? Donating is not scamming. That's donating. That's gifting.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like
people are mad if they don't get that support. Like maybe they don't get the support that they see her getting at the end of the day. I mean, just sitting back, because I'm definitely low key, but I've watched and just seeing people channels get blessed, it's definitely some hate towards that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the hate towards her in that area. The fact that she's still functioning,
Yeah.
and they're trying to tear her down. It hasn't worked. But see, you got to understand that this is the thing. This is my own belief. I believe that God says he was going to protect the women and the children. At the end of the day, even if she's done the things that she's done, the lady has kids. Even if she was a crackhead hoe of a mother, she has kids. And God's help, from my belief, God says he's going to protect the women and the kids. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's going to do. That don't mean that there's not consequences to our actions as women, as mothers, because sometimes women do what they got to do in real life. But you guess what? Them kids gonna eat. They're gonna get fed. He gonna protect them. So what makes anybody think that they have the right to try to hurt them? That's really what people need to be worried about.
Yeah.
If you ask me, because they ain't in court. You can't play with kids like innocent beings. That's like, that says enough for me about what you made of.
Exactly. Hey, J. Lou, baby. Thank you for coming in, J. Lou. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss Gloria. Thank you for that super. We appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. If y'all have not hit that like button, y'all hit that thumbs up. Y'all hit that thumbs up. Thumbs up this live. Thumbs up this live. Share this live. Do what you need to do, because I feel like if we can help one person, if one person can hear this and have a different outlook on how we are saying it, and just stand back, because sometimes you have to, like I said, you have to take yourself out of the equation sometimes and just look from the outside and see if you see the same thing.
Right. But I think the biggest thing coming from Superfan, the biggest statement, and I'll speak for myself, I don't know if you agree or not, but I think the biggest statement that we can make right now is the fact that no, we did not believe the lie that we feel Brianna told, and I said her name, but okay, on her husband at the time, right? Don't believe that. Still don't. But that has been put to rest. It literally is where it's at.
Yeah.
Nobody can change the outcome of any of that. These people are no longer together. And life has to go on, you know? And so that doesn't mean that I am going to commit my life to make her life horrible.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
It's entirely hypocritical to me. I would be less of a mother my dang self to wish any of that upon. That don't mean that I feel like, okay, she was right. No, that don't mean that I don't want this lady to have supporters. I can't even think that far. That's too much energy for me to want somebody to hurt. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. So for people who is taking the time out to pick apart how somebody eat their Captain Crunch or how they tie their shoes, like that's insanity to me.
yeah.
In my opinion, it's not content creative. It's not very creative. It's just strictly bullying.
Yeah.
Period. Now, it's not even proving a point to what the point of the matter was before. We're trying to say that you believe what you believe happened in that scenario, in that case that took place online with that couple. It has nothing to do with any of that at this point. At this point, it's just people are showing their true colors.
Right. Yeah.
And they're getting paid for it. That's it.
Yeah. And that's all. That's it. That's all. Cousin said you got to be a screwed up human being to drag babies because you don't like the mama. I mean,
yeah,
like don't like the mama. You know what I'm saying? Like what her baby got to do with it? That's with anybody, baby. You know what I'm saying? What does the baby have to do with it? What does my deceased relative have to do with it? What does my mentally ill son have to do with it? Nothing. Because you don't like me.
It's not even about the baby. I think it's about people's like illmatic, like just their sickness, like who they are. I don't even think. And what is seeing somebody's baby? What sense of satisfaction are you going to have there? Like what do you want to see? I wouldn't show mine either.
Yeah.
At this point, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. Yeah. Me neither. Me neither. Miss Dee said, right, they should have been able to disagree and leave it, but there's been so much nastiness. It has. It really has. Elevate Aura. Am I saying that Aura? Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Elevated Aura.
Elevated Aura. How you doing? She said thing is they always say what Bree does to her supporters, and they're looking out for Bree supporters. No, thank you. We don't need to like. We don't need the likes of you
looking out for us to excuse you
bullying of her.
Yeah, it's really crazy because it's like there is the bully factor, but then you are also supporting her, like with bringing, like you're really her biggest supporter because you really seem infatuated with her. So you got to, in order to report on her the way you do, you got to watch her all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like a weird type of support, but it's there, you know. But then it's like, okay, it's like a jealous friend. You know, like you really want to be in my company, but you want to, talk about me behind my back type of thing. That's what it reads to me. Like you really like me, but then you jealous. You really like me, but something like you like something about me because you got to keep talking about me, but you got to be jealous because you're talking about me. But you support me, but you don't. Like because you support me because you're giving me my views and you're bringing more traffic my way too. Because you talk about me. Your whole channel's about me. But you don't like me. Nah. make it
make sense. Yeah, you don't like me, but you bringing people to my page. You don't know that. And then because you're watching me, of course, the people that support you is watching me.
Right, because they're going to go check.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So thousands of views that you're getting, she's getting them too, whether you know it or not. She are. I said she are.
But they do know it, and that's what I'm saying. That's not. It's really more of a supporter versus. It's just like I said, a fake friend or a jealous friend. You know, they want to be around you, they want to pay attention to you, but they want to talk about you too, type of thing. That's what it seems like to me because that support is definitely there if you're talking about if that's your content all the time, and then that means you're clicking your research and you have to be paying attention to that person, and then you're telling your audience about that person, so they're going to check and they're following that person too. They're keeping up with that person, but you're saying you're supporting somebody else. You ain't even talking about him.
Right.
No, it doesn't add up.
Yeah, none of
care
his
what nobody said about
accolades,
that. That don't make sense to me.
accolades, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't make sense either. You know, talking about, you know, what's already dead is bringing the dead back to life, ain't it?
I'm
That's how
not
I feel.
platinum. I hear you, but that's not even my point. Like I'm like over here, we're not even on that piece. Like to me, that right there is already done. So some people still stuck in that space. We're not stuck in that space here. What we're
Yeah,
talking about is content creators dragging somebody that and behaving that they're dragging somebody that they seem to be honestly fans of, but then they're also behaving in a way that they say they are anti against. So, you know, that's what we're here. That's what we're talking about.
right. Miss Glenn said it's the jealous friends who are her top supporters. You better say that.
Right.
You better say that,
And
Miss
none of them like
Glenn.
us, truth be told.
Yeah,
None of them.
right. Me said, my daddy always said you can tell how much money a job makes by looking at the vehicle in the parking lot. Be careful, voice company, or is that Royce company you keep. If you head isn't right, if your head isn't right, you can't expect the tail to be right. If the head isn't right, you can't expect the tail to be right. Mm, that's kind of deep. My daddy always said you can tell how much money a job makes by looking at the vehicles in the parking lot. Be careful, voice company you keep. Be careful. I guess I don't know what is that voice company you keep.
I think it's that auto type. She's probably saying
Mhm.
be careful of the company you keep.
Yeah, be careful of the company you keep. If the head isn't right, you can't expect the tail to be right. Um, that's about right. I mean, I just feel like sometimes the energy you put into talking about someone, have you looked at your surroundings? Have you paid attention to self first before you start spewing out? Like, just say, for instance, you say, "Oh shoot, I got it. You know, I got this, I got that, I got it going on. You know, my life is grand. I could do, so I can put this energy out." Or you looking around your surroundings and looking like, "Dang, I ain't no better than she is, but I'm still gonna put the shit out." What sense does that make? What sense does that make? Like sometimes you got to be careful what you do and say on the internet because it might turn around on you. Dead serious. It might turn around on you. That's all I'm saying. You know, you can't be out here putting this type of energy out on people that you don't even want for yourself, or it bothered you when it was being bought to you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, some of these content creators that's, you know, still doing it, they've been bashed and, you know, talked about as well. Right. But you could tell how it affected some of them when they were talked about. Some of them tried to act like it didn't bother them, but it did. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna read Sister Teacher's comment. She said no content creator is reporting in defense of the husband or the wife. It seems like they're both being drugged through these streets, and it is a great possibility that that is what they both want with boundaries. I think what she's saying is that both of the ex-husband and ex-wife is still being drugged through the streets, which they are, and they both are wanting boundaries. I believe that. I agree with that. I think for sure that he has wanted boundaries, and I think for sure right now she's stating her claim that she wants boundaries. I don't think that it doesn't help to, I don't think it helps to be in any association with any of these content creators. That's my take on that. I don't think that helps either one of them, period, because it's just like, my whole thing is association. Like I just wouldn't be associated with any of them if I was in either one of them, including superfan. Like at this point, which we're not. Like, we've detached ourselves and we're on to a whole nother assignment with what we have going on. So I just don't think that that's a healthy thing to do with wanting those boundaries to be put in place. Behind saying you want those boundaries, you have to put forth the action, and you got to show that you have put up those boundaries as well. That's my take on that. I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Cousin with her retarded self. Talking about Prince said, act your age, not your shoes.
Yeah, I've got to put something crazy. Right. But that's true too, though. For real.
I just had to with her crazy self.
You know what though? Could it be a possibility that people are just traumatized from this? Because this thing is still talked about. So, maybe people are just still traumatized because that was a lot. That was a lot of craziness going on. But even if you are a traumatized person off of this sector or this story that once was, it's like you are still responsible for your actions at the end of the day. Maybe people need to log off and go seek some therapy. You know what I'm saying? If they were that type of traumatized, for real, because you're still responsible for your interactions and your behaviors online and offline, of course. But I will say that people probably is a little thrown off from it, but you still held accountable for what you do.
Right. Hey, Knee Deep. What's up, beautiful? So Knee Deep said, these people act like their life is perfect. When we heard of their kids under the age of 10 call her a bitch on recording, and she thought it was funny. I mean, what are you talking about? I know who she's talking about. And
I'm trying to think who she's talking about. I don't want to just put the name in the chat, but I'm trying to figure out who she's talking about.
I know who she's talking about. Because that was a big thing at one point, and I heard the recording myself, and I was like, I don't know, I'm old school, so everybody may not agree about how I do things, because I would my child would never be disrespectful. I don't care if we playing or not.
You talking about Pug Face?
No, it wasn't Pug Face.
Oh, okay.
It was Louisiana Brawl. So my thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my thing is, I feel like no child of mine would be disrespecting me in that manner. We don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a certain respect that my child was raised with. You know what I'm saying? With me being a single parent still, my child ain't gonna disrespect no adult. Period. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way I raised my kids. And that's the way my daughter raised my grandkids. Like, we old school. You know what I'm saying? That's just the only way I can do it. So I can't speak, you know what I'm saying, on that, because maybe she is cool with her daughter doing that. I mean, some parents are comfortable with letting their children talk to them, in manners of that, you know what I mean? Or, question their whatever, I mean, some parents is like that, they free spirited parents, maybe, you know what I mean? So that's probably why I'm just saying, just for my purposes, I'm old school. So that would have never went down in my house. And I'm giggling about it. No, 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 ma'am. We don't do that over here. Just,
Right. Y'all crazy in the chat. I wanted to read Miss Latanya's comment. She said, I don't think he want boundaries because if he did, he wouldn't be sharing someone's post who's calling the babies turtles. That's my opinion, respectfully. I didn't know that. If that's true, that's screwed up. That's not cool.
yeah.
That's not
Someone
cool.
called the baby a turtle.
No, she's saying that it was shared. It
Oh,
was shared. It's based off of what I was just saying that I was agreeing with Sister Teacher's comment that I think that they do both want boundaries. I do, but I really don't want to elaborate too heavy on that. But I do. I just think that it's just been so much. And I think I do think that it's got to the point where, because he didn't used to speak out about all the attacks and things that was coming his way, y'all. And I think that maybe right now is just the point where he's at, but I don't agree with that. If that's what you're saying has happened, I can't agree with that. I wouldn't do that. That's not right. So I respect your comment, Miss Latanya.
yes, me too, Miss Latanya. I just had to, because I read Miss Glenn, I had to
Ah,
laugh. She said the stress has these young ladies spitting and yelling at the computer and looking older than me. They are
ooh,
aging in dog years.
ooh, that's the dog years. That means 7 years to your one, baby. Oof.
Man.
Mm-mm.
Oh, they had the nerve. That's what be tripping me out. Hey, Miss Laurie, welcome in. Hey, Miss Marlon. I'm glad y'all came in here. Hey, y'all. I appreciate
No,
y'all.
man said you're supposed to be keeping it cute. We keeping it cute. We trying.
Yeah.
We trying.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, see, I haven't watched, so I didn't know, or I don't know all that. But yeah, I'm sure that's not sitting right if that's the case.
Yeah, Sister Teacher said the boundaries I believe they want are their kids. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, because they both are content creators, so I think that they do respect the game. You know what I mean? But yeah, when it comes to that, as it should be, they should be
Mhm.
off limits.
Yeah,
But I mean, at the same time, you can't be posting that to it if what people are saying is the case. That's not right.
yeah, yeah. Anomaly said it's sad that we are in 2025 and this mess is still going on, shaking my head. Girl. Like, I feel the same way. Like I just know that it is some talented people on here that could be moving on to bigger and better things. So it's hard to see them stuck here. I ain't gonna say it's hard to believe, but I'm just saying it's hard to see that they're stuck here. You know what I mean? Because I see that some of these people have awesome talents that can really take their page, maybe, on really to where this is a real business for them when they're really making six figures. You feel me?
You're
You
funny.
know,
Not the six figures.
yeah, when they really making six figures. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, for us to still be here in 2025, I ain't gonna say it's unbelievable, but it's disheartening. You know what I'm saying? To see grown women acting the way that they act, and that's all I'm gonna say. I just never seen this in this type of capacity before. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that everybody doesn't have a right to feel how they feel, but I just feel like when it becomes obsessive, it is.
Right.
It is a problem when it's excessive. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that you do obsessively is not good for you. Let me just say that. That's with anything. Not good
Right.
for you. So,
Platinum Bracelet says, thank you, ladies, for having the foresight to discuss any topic open and fairly. This is not going to end well for a lot of people ignorantly hiding behind a copyright law, which don't apply to bullying. It doesn't apply to bullying. I agree with you to that. We appreciate you thanking us. And that's honestly the space that we're functioning in, like not trying to be biased towards anybody at this point with anything, and just be able to have open dialogue about whatever we choose to talk about. And regardless to who like it or not, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. It feels like you have to uh dissect what you do on a daily. What did you accomplish for that day? Do you ever reflect? Do you go back and reflect? Let me just say that. And if you do, and then you see nothing wrong with when you go back and reflect, then do what you then do what you do. Do
I
what you
got
do.
two things. So, I mean, I hear y'all in the chat too saying that he said it first on his platform. And if he did, like I said, I didn't see that. But the thing about it is, I go back to what I was saying earlier. Um, when you have subscribers or followers, they're going to gravitate to who they're following. They're going to rebuttal. It's almost like you're being, and that's not just for him, that's for whoever you follow, whoever we follow, individually, whoever your favorite CC is, you're going to believe what they're putting out and you're going to push that, whatever that is. And so, and if that's the case, then that's what that is. And that proves my point to it exactly. So I just said to people who listen to content creators on a daily basis, keep your own mind. Like, don't just because somebody puts something out and it's wrong, whether if you like them or not, you don't always have to follow that. Like, think for yourself. Have your own, keep your own mind, or really you giving them your power. And that's why they do what they do. That's where I think people get it misconstrued. And then I was laughing at cousin. That's what I wanted to do.
And cousin, I didn't mean that maliciously, you know what I mean? She said you probably saw it on national television. You haven't heard the last from me, little missy.
And she punched you.
No, it was nothing like that, cousin. I promise you. I'm just saying, I knew you was gonna just bring some laughter. This damn lie.
Too funny.
They try to be serious.
Oh my God, y'all cutting up. They trying to figure out who Dry Bob is.
She just ain't gonna let me have a serious tone. I guess you say you serious from 8 to 5. After 5, you got to be a non-serious.
You cannot be serious with her all the time. Nope.
Yeah. I apologize, cousin. Y'all on national television. I am apologizing to my cousin.
I heard her whole way. Oh, you go crack up. I try to take it back. Oh, hell no. Nah. Let me light my giggly bush and get on your ass.
So let me light mine up too. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke, cousin.
Yeah, she got it for you. She ain't letting that fly. Hell no. Nah. You call me retarded? Hell no. Nah.
Oh, cousin. Oh boy. Okay. Y'all crazy. But just us. We do try to bring light to to how we see things, what I'm saying, without, trying to put a negative light on other people. But if you're bringing the negative light to yourself, that ain't much work for us to be doing. You get what I'm saying? I'm just being real. It's not too much work for us to be doing if you're already doing it to yourself. You get what I'm saying? We just bringing to light the negative light that you're bringing to yourself. That's it.
Y'all is tripping. Trying to identify people.
Right. Said TC telling family secrets on national TV television.
You ain't supposed to say cousin retarded girl. What's wrong with you?
Right, she said it's a family secret. We probably cut that hit.
Look at mama 3 peeking through the window. Oh my God.
Oh, I am dying.
Oh my goodness. Hilarious. So yeah, y'all don't get this internet misconstrued with real life, okay? Because real life is a whole nother ball game. I think that's
Yes,
the
it
moral of the whole
is.
story.
It is. It is. I just feel like at some point you definitely have to have boundaries on what you put on social media and your boundaries in your real life. You don't want this social media to spew over in your real life. And what I mean by that is you can't now decipher the two because you're on social media so much that you're lacking or you're um what's another word for you're neglecting your real life. And and you basically calling out people for things that y'all going through as well. You get what I'm saying? So at some point when it becomes obsessive to me.
Wait, say that again, sis. People calling out people because they stuff basically is what they relate to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that to me that is probably the closest thing to the truth.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
I think people go so hard about people, what they would say people's shortcoming, because it's really something that they either going through or they've been through.
Yeah.
It's almost like with the DV thing, right? You got a lot of women that flock to the story, right? And then they be on these panels with all the rah-rah, but then you learn that some of them got black eyes behind behind that screen. Stuff like that.
Right.
Like people flock to what they relate to. And then they try to beat other people up or abuse other people with the same thing they get beat up with.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
Yeah, it
I
is.
believe that.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I feel like at the end of the day, y'all just need to set y'all boundaries. You know what I'm saying? On what y'all feel like is I ain't gonna say accurate, but y'all have to set boundaries on what y'all feel is real in your spirit or what is not. You know what I'm saying? Are you doing it for the gratification? You know what I'm saying? Did you get caught up on the hype of everything? You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, like my little sister said, hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt people, and that's a fact. That's truly a fact. And we just need to be cautious of how we are treating other people. Sometimes you have to treat people as you would want to be treated. And I feel like not sometimes, all the time. You got to treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want nobody going after you day after day, night after night, or you just don't care, then something wrong with you.
I missed that person name I just deleted coming over here trying to check people in these comments. Go back and ask your girl why she bring up people when we don't even be going live. Don't come over here with that. Like for real.
Okay, so I missed that.
I deleted them too quick, but don't come over here. You got to first start with self, okay? That's how we play. Start with self, okay? Go and ask your friend that you come over here checking people in these comments about why that person be on panels talking about us. Start there first before you come over here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I missed it. I'm sorry. I missed that whole comment.
Oh, it's okay. It's nothing.
Okay. Well, and I don't care either way, but I just and that was just my last statement. I just feel like, what I'm saying, y'all need to start setting healthy boundaries for your social media life and your real life. And you need to start treating people how you would want to be treated. And I think the world would be a much better place. And that's for everybody. That's for everybody who's doing something excessively on this internet. That's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you're doing it to an excessive extent, then you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, really. Let's just keep it a buck. Check yourself or you wreck yourself. And that's all I got to say. Sis, what's your
I
last?
mean, same thing here. Same thing I said before. You know, people point fingers and holding people to the stakes, but you got to start with yourself first. At the end of the day, I don't think anything that come out of your mouth should come out unless you have yet applied it to yourself. If you can't
Yeah.
apply it to yourself, you have no room to talk about anybody.
Right. Hey,
On
Miss Heard.
the internet. Hey,
I
Miss
didn't even
Heard.
see, I didn't see Miss Heard come in here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Miss Heard. And Miss Latanya said, that's why I treat everyone, even she said, that's why I treat everyone with respect, even when I'm giving the opportunity. I know that's right, Miss Tanya, because I mean, I just feel like, you know what I mean? I think we've had Miss Latanya has been in, and I know Miss Latanya has been there. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nobody speaking up. It wasn't nobody getting on no panel. She was. You know what I'm saying? And she always, even when she came with her point of view, it was always respect. You see what I'm saying? Like she still had her point of view, but it never was a disrespect. A disrespect. She just had her point of view.
But that's what
And
grown women and grown people can do. I think you should be able to voice your opinion, agree, disagree, and have healthy dialogue without it being something malice or degrading. But that's what grown people do.
yeah, yeah, that's how I feel. You know what I mean? And I agree with Miss Latanya. You know what I mean? But um, we just wanted to bring a little light. You know what I'm saying? You know, from our point of view, our perspective, and how we feel like. I just feel like you should treat people how you want to be treated, and that's what anything. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it's good to report on something with your opinion and have your perspective. But then when it becomes excessive with it, what I'm saying, to the point to where you're really going digging in and talking about people's kids, it becomes a no-no to me. It becomes a no-no, so I don't agree with none of that. You know what I mean? And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, we said what we said. Now it's
And
time to go
that's
to
it.
bed.
That's all. Point blank and period.
We
You
said
know
what we said. Now it's time for me to go to bed.
You
So
know what I'm saying? But we love y'all. Thank y'all for chilling with us. Thank y'all for chilling with us. Y'all know we always keep our lives down to the 2 hour, you know what I'm saying? 2 hour or less. But we appreciate all the support that y'all, if y'all have not hit that like button, hit that like button on your way out.
hold
Make
on,
sure
sis.
y'all,
I'm
yeah,
so sorry to interrupt you, but I gotta read Me's comment. You throwing this on us at the last minute, girl. She said, I learned when my daughter passed away to treat people right. I'm too scared to go to hell. I'm too scared to go to hell. You don't know when your name will be called. Your dash will be discussed at your funeral. Now, we can end on that note. Rest
yes,
in peace to your daughter.
yes,
I,
rest in
I
peace,
I
me.
pray that you stay up in spirit, and that's a reality. That is the reality. That is the real. And
Yeah,
people take this time for granted. They do take. And I think people take this internet for granted. But that right there, that's the real deal right there. People don't know. No one knows when your time is up. So get right. That's all I can say.
your boy, what? Get right before you go see him. That's all I can say if you believe in him. You know what I'm saying? But some of these folks don't believe in him. So, they out here on the limb, baby. You know what I'm saying? And hey, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? All I can say,
Mhm.
but at some point, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna have to pay the piper. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? At
Every
some
seed
point.
you sow will bear its fruit. That's for
Yes.
sure.
Yes,
Every single
baby.
seed you sow will bear its fruit.
Boy,
You
what?
know, and it's hee hee ha ha now. But if you're affecting people, oh, you got to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay
Mm-hmm.
for it.
And I'm talking about serious business. You know what I'm saying? Because what you put out in the atmosphere, you better believe it's gonna come back triple fold.
Yeah,
Triple
yeah.
fold, baby. You know what I'm
Thank all of
saying?
y'all. Thank y'all. We see you down there. We appreciate it. We
We
appreciate
really
it.
appreciate. Thank you.
Please hit that like button before y'all check up out of here. Hit
Thank
that bell
you,
so you know
Jamaica.
we
I
live.
can see you. Hey, Jamaica. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming to see us. And thank y'all for tuning in. And once again, y'all hit that like button if y'all want to donate to the channel. You know, we do have a Cash App floating, and we do have the super stickers and super chats. We still trying to get into the groove of how that thing go. You know what I mean? But we
Thank you, Miss
appreciate all y'all
Carter.
support. Yes, we appreciate all y'all support. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. And you know, we're going, and thank you, Miss Herb, once again for that super. I appreciate you, baby. And we love y'all. We love y'all. Y'all just know, just saying.
You ain't
Yeah.
gotta go home, but you gotta get up out of here. Love y'all.
Peace out.